So that was the shoemaker. Yep. Let's go to the next story. It looks like there's a one over here. Let's see what's happening to this guy. Radio announcer. I feel like some kind of spy. I think that what I do is quite exciting. I work as a sales consultant in the store, and that is what the public only knows about me. They see me and don't look twice at me, all because people like me don't matter. We're not the ones who make a difference. My work life is pretty boring. I go to work in the morning and come back home in the evening after attending to clients and prospective clients. What they don't know is that I'm a radio presenter. As of now, there are only 2 radio channels in the country, and one of them is referred to as a ghost radio channel. This is because no one knows who manages the channel. The other radio channel is managed by the government. I'm the radio announcer of the second radio channel, the ghost channel, and I want to do on the channel is to tell the story of an anonymous spy. It's a story I made up myself, and it's sort of like a daydream of what I think my life should be. I think I would make a great spy. After all, I've been managing the radio channel for a long time, and no one knows it's me. It feels like I'm holding a secret from the entire world. The thought fills with a kind of giddiness. People talk about my radio channel all the time. Someone even made a blog about it, and they posted updates about the channel. I also had a fan page and was quite popular. Maybe one day I will reveal myself, but for now I'll simply, pardon me, enjoy everyone being in the dark about my identity. Radio announcer, that was him or her, him or her. Yeah, okay, let's go. Right, I'm gonna go. Whoa, what's in here? Whoa, I'm stuck. I guess there's nothing over here, like. Nah. Wow. It's quite like really dark stories. Whoa. Obviously, I went down the wrong stairs, didn't I? Yeah, I went down the wrong ones. Just gonna check around here. Yeah, everything's done. There's some over here. See this? Baker, fresh bread. The smell was heavenly, simple, simply divine. There was something about baking bread that filled me with so much satisfaction, even at 43. years old. The smell of fresh bread still brought back sweet memories. Pardon me. Growing up, my mother baked bread every morning to feed us. It was our staple food, and we had it for breakfast every day. I remember being in the kitchen with her, helping her out. My father was a farmer and sold his produce, so I'm sure it's meant to be product or something, so we could get by. I knew we were living a hard life, but every time I saw my mum bake bread, all my worries would float away. She usually looked at peace then too. It's a pity that they both dead. Baking bread every morning is a habit I still have. Fortunately for me, I work at a bakery. Wait, what? Okay. I went to the work. I went to work every morning and made enough bread for everyone to eat. When I was down, I would like to. I would what? When I was down, I would take some home to eat together. To me, happiness is the smell of fresh bread. My wife often teases me about it, and I take it in good faith. With the way the world is presently, I think I'm lucky to be doing something I love doing for a living. Many people don't have it as easy as I do, and I hope that they will find their own source of happiness. Life, I found mine. I really like bread. When I'm asked what I like about it, I always tell them that it's bread. What is there not to like about it? I mean, look at it. I've started to teach my son how to bake. He's only 6, but I know he's I know he'll grow up to love it as much as I do, and who knows, maybe I've started a family legacy. My parents would be so proud. That was the baker. There's one over here. Poet. Let's go. Let's go. I hope I can get better soon. I have missed school and all activities I used to be involved in. It wasn't. It wasn't like I had a very active life in school, though. But I was like learning. I think I'm one of the few people who study what their dream career is to be. My mother is a cleaner and she works really hard. She didn't get any formal education, and that is what she can do. My father works as a miner and is usually at the mines. The only child. My parents said that they want to be able to take care of their life children, and know how they know it's only one that they can take care of. I commend them for that. Some people just have children without planning for the long term. People say that I'm successful for my age. I'm in my 20s and I have published so many poems. I love writing and I write poems. It's the perfect way for me to express myself, and I know I'm quite good at it. I've published a few of my poems and anthologies, and they have gained limelight. People want to hear more from me, and I'm more than willing to oblige them. I was a student at the faculty of letters, and it was just one step in achieving my goals. I have really learned a lot, and I wouldn't have chosen any other path. Unfortunately, now I've fallen sick and I've had to take a break from school so I can focus on recovering and getting better. I still write from time to time, but I can't wait to be back on my feet and write with the ferocity I had before. I parents. I don't. No, no. I don't want to be a burden to my parents. I know how hard they're struggling. Poet. That's the poet. Oh man, look at loads over here. Right with the. Let's go. Let's go. Author. Part of me. Writing is my life. It is my sole purpose in this world, and it is what I will continue to do until the day I die. I'm currently in my 60s and in what people would call the retirement age. I'm not ready to retire, not now, probably not ever. I have published many books that have been loved by everyone. People really love and respect me as an author. It wasn't easy getting to the stage, though it took about 10 years before my first book got popular, though I certainly wasn't looking for the attention. I think that there is a certain joy that comes with knowing that your art, something you made with your hands, is out there in the world, inspiring people to be better. My purpose is to keep writing for my society. I can't ignore what is happening and focus on my life. It isn't just possible. I have written about the ills and failures of our society and government. After all, if I can't do much to change the situation, I can make people aware of what is going on in their beloved country. In all of my in all my novels, I talk about the society and the countries that are still in periods of struggle. I know that my books have touched and inspired many people, and maybe that is the satisfaction that I want. My wife and children are very supportive of my work and proud of my achievements, and they keep encouraging me. My pen is my weapon against the hardship of this world, and I won't ever drop it. At my book signings, some of the things people have said to me only reinforce my decision to keep writing. They tell me that my books have opened their eyes to see the world how it really is, and that they won't stop trying to make it a better place. What more could a writer ask for? Author. Just gonna see if there's any more over here with the. Nah, this one's the last one over here with the 2 seconds. I'm like, oh. Fucking hell. Mouth's like a fucking jet engine. Shit. Let's go. Worker. Does the country have borders? This question has troubled me a lot, and I've not forgotten a clear answer to it. Most people I ask claim that it's only the government that can say if we still have borders. I think that is bullshit, though. I want to see how far and wide the destruction went. If now, because of the fall of the society, countries didn't care about borders, and we don't have to be segregated like we are currently. I'm a construction worker, and I've had to do a lot of tough jobs just to be able to take care of myself. I'm a pretty big guy with muscles big enough to do my job well. I've been very successful working in construction. One thing I also enjoy doing is playing the cello or cello, whatever. I'm quite good at it, and those who hear me play say that it's a talent. I'm 34 years old, and I feel like I've not started living. I want to explore life, discover what this world has to offer me. I'm really tired of being stuck in one place, living the same old life, the same old way. I crave adventure and fun. I want to be able to say that I have lived. I know it's possible, even with how fractured the society seems like now. That's why I'll keep asking the question, does the country have borders? I don't want to settle down like most people or have a family. They seem like petty concerns for me, and it's not something I think I should be disturbed with. I really just want to explore and finally have some answers to my questions. That was the worker. Yep, that's the worker for you. Right, I'm gonna go all the way down here. Pardon me. There's a lot of stories, like, there's a lot. I start with this guy over here. Right, let's go. Aerospace engineer. My dream finally came true ever since I was little. My own dream was to reach the stars. I was only fascinated with stars and outer space. My parents encouraged me and bought me telescopes and books about space travel. I was always trying to know more about how the stars could hang above us. So prettily, of course, I grew up and learned that stars weren't that little. They just appeared like that because of how far they were from Earth. I still wanted to explore space regardless. I just seemed like this mysterious place, and I wanted to know its secrets. I studied researches of studies conducted in space and digested all the information regarding astronauts. That was what I wanted to do with my life. Unfortunately for me, things like space travel institutes don't exist anymore. The world is still focused on rebuilding. After college, I went abroad and did some more research about space, and all it entails. I'm aware now that it isn't possible for me to reach the stars literally, but I still wanted to go to outer space. When I come back to my country, I founded the Aviation Institute. It seemed crazy back then, but I was determined. We had to be able to explore the world outside our planet, even now when it seemed like it wasn't important. Sooner than later, scientists, engineers, and technicians started to work in the institute that I founded. I found that my parents were there with my every step of the way, supporting me with advice and sometimes even with funding. The Aviation Institute started to get donations from wealthy individuals who were also excited to develop space travel knowledge with me. I'm currently 28 and I've been interviewed several times and called the most successful person still in their 20s. That was aerospace engineer. Okay, aerospace engineer. Gonna go around this way. With that, I'm gonna have to have a drink or something because damn. Let's go. Police. No one knows what I go through inside my head. Not even my family. I have a happy family. My wife and daughter make me very happy, but there's a secret I haven't shared with them. I often have to go the psychiatrist, the psychiatrist. Oh, that is a psychiatrist. Yeah. Okay, it's just something that refuses to go away. Even at 43, one would think that being an adult meant you didn't have many worries beyond work and your taxes. They don't know how wrong they are. I'm struggling so much trying to keep everything together, but I have to keep a calm front for everyone around me. It feels like too much work. When I was young, my father committed suicide. It was a terrible period in my life. With pardon me, disgusting. My father was also a policeman, and maybe I'm just repeating the sins of my father. Pardon me. My father had to complete a secret mission that involved him killing a lot of people. He completed the mission, but it ate at him what he had done. He was never happy after that mission. When he died, a note he left was discovered. He wrote, "When a lot of blood is shed, there will be prosperity for society. If so, why does my soul hurt?" Anyone could say that. What he did weighed on his soul heavily. I don't know why, but I just can't get it out of my head. The fact that I'm also working as a police isn't even helping matters. That's why I keep going to the psychiatrist, hoping that my trauma can be cured. It's something I really want to be free of. I have nightmares of my father surrounded, I think that's meant to say, by dead bodies overnight. In It's me who is surrounded by dead bodies. I just hope everything stops someday. I keep hoping, and it is the only thing that keeps me going. That's the police for you. Policeman over there. Right there, I'm just gonna try and... Yeah, there's nothing there. Just one over there, okay. I'm just gonna check if there's any other person over there. It doesn't seem like... Oh, there's one over there, God, there's loads of stories. Bus driver. Here's a bus driver one. What a simple life I have. I often marvel at myself. I work as a bus driver and I drive the same road every day. To be honest, I'm having the best time of my life. I know that there are people that will look down at me with pity, but I'm sure I have more satisfaction with my life than they did with theirs. in my 40s, and when I'm not driving the bus and spending the rest of my time studying philosophy, I've had to unlearn a lot of things, and learning philosophy has really changed the way that I see the world. I used to be very rich, stinkingly, so my father is a wealthy businessman and he lives abroad. I left him because I was angry. My father was my driven my greed, and that's unquenchable desire to make money at all costs. I've witnessed him to shit. I witnessed him do some terrible things, all in the name of money. I decided I wasn't going to be a part of that anymore. I couldn't in good conscience work for him or be under him when I knew of his practices. My father has called me to join him several times, sometimes pleadingly, sometimes with threats, but I have refused to go. I understand why he keeps calling on me, apart from the fact that I'm his son. I happen to be his only son, and he wants me to take over the business. He doesn't want it to fall in the hands of a stranger. Well, unfortunately for him, being a bus driver has proven to be great for me. I don't have to do much besides drive all day, and driving is something I happen to enjoy. I also get to see all manner of people get on my bus. It's entertaining and refreshing. I'm not giving up this life anytime soon. Bus driver. Oh shit, let's go, man. Let's go. Athlete. Often when I come back from practice, I look around at the streets I grew up in, and I'm transported to how my life used to be. I remember the days I ran around to cook dinner before my father came back. My mother had left when I was little, and my father still refuses to tell me the reason why. Sometimes I wonder if she truly did it on purpose, or if she truly wanted me. I always tell my father, fucking hell, shit. I always tell my father that I'm going to make him proud. I was one of the best athletes in the country, and as wild as it may seem, I think I might make it, pardon me, to the Olympics with a little more practice. I always dream of the day I would run the tracks of the Olympics. I wonder if mother would recognize me on television. At 24, it probably is embarrassing that I keep yearning from my mother, but I just have a lot of questions for her. My mind won't ever be at rest till those questions are answered. My father has been a miner since I could remember. It is fascinating how he doesn't complain much about back pains. He still feels guilty about mother leaving us, so he put it on his shoulders to take care of both of us. He always says he wish he could be more, but he is more than enough. During a while I realized the problem would have been with mother and not with him. I remember the day I was among the top athletes in our country, and I felt proud of myself. Mother should have heard too. Father did say she doesn't live for. Wow, that's athlete. I'll do these. Let's go. Officer, what a boring life. I'm pretty sure not everyone can survive living a life like mine. I'm 38 years old and I work as a civil servant. My job is to literally just to read about a dozen files. Each of I often wonder how I found myself in this life. I don't like my job. In fact, there is little that makes me happy. It's not like I have a wife or family to come home to. It was just me living alone, doing things myself. I don't have friends either, and maybe that's not a good thing. I just don't know how to form friends. I have a few work buddies that I talk to, but outside of work we don't talk or have anything in common. I've been playing the harmonica ever since I was little, and I've always had questions. I've wondered if all the songs are similar, if the songs of the waiting people carry the same tunes, or if everyone is waiting the same. I don't have any answers to it, but I still ask the question in my mind. I still play the harmonica at home, and I have plenty of them. It's like a collection. I think I'm the only one who loves harmonicas this much. I mean, it's such a boring hobby for a boring man. I'm 38 years old and I don't have anything that drives me or inspires me apart from playing the harmonica. I don't think there's anything else I like doing. I should be grateful to my dad for teaching it to me. I should be grateful, but sometimes I'm resentful. He could have taught me about different wonderful things rather than just the harmonica. He raised me alone, and maybe that's why I turned out the way I did. That was officer. Damn. Let's go. Translator. I love my daughter so much, but hardly a day goes by that I don't think of my husband. I'm a 38-year-old woman, and I've been raising my two daughters by myself for a couple of years now. It hasn't been easy, to say the least. I didn't realize how hard single parents had it. My husband was a lieutenant and he worked in the army. I don't know if he's still working there. When the whole destruction started and everywhere was unstable, he sent us to the farthest part of the country and asked us to live there. The plan was for him to join us later on. He sent us to somewhere safe so we would not be harmed. He claimed it was dangerous staying where he was, and I understand. We all did. I used to work as a translator before we moved, and after a couple of months I got a job to work as a translator over here. I had to work to be able to provide for my girls. I still clung tightly to the hope that my husband was going to join us. Now I don't know what has happened to him. I don't know if he's dead or alive, if he's still trying to reach us, or if he has made a new life for himself. Every night I think about him and I pray that we can be reunited soon. I don't want to lose hope, but it's hard sometimes. My girls are starting to forget him, and I try not to let that happen. Before, they used to ask me questions about him, and when his when he was coming back, I always told them that he was going back soon, but now it seems like a far away. Let's go. That was the translator. Well, I gotta go this way. Let's go over here. Let's go. This is the conductor. I am a retired conductor, and I often think about my life working on the steam train. It was a very stressful and taxing job, but it got the bills paid, and I wasn't complaining. Besides, I've stopped working now and don't really have much to do with my life. I don't have a family. It was something that always seemed bothersome to me. I had many friends though, and we hung out from time to time. Due to my work on the steam train, I've gone abroad many times. I can't even count how many trips I've been on in total. Many people got in the train, and I got to see all manner of different people. Everyone had a different way of life, and it was really fun to see. I recorded them all in my memory. I saw the bus dads, the tired mums, and the teenagers not knowing what they were going to do with their lives. I saw them all at the end of the day. I came to a conclusion. There was something all these people had in common, even their pursuit of whatever it was that kept them going. At the end of the day, everyone had only one wish. It wasn't more money though. They chased that endlessly. It wasn't to have more jewelry or more cars. What I understood from many years of working on the steam train and observing them was that people's one wish was to have peace. It was the reason they chased money so much, so they could reach a point in their lives where they had peace. And to be honest, that what I thought, what I want to, genuine peace. Though it's proven hard to have in this world that has gone to pieces, but I know that it's more than possible, and I constantly wish and pray for all those people I saw come and go on the steam train that they eventually find peace too. That was the conductor. Let's go. Librarian. I think about the impact my article has made among people, and I'm happy with the results. Pardon me. Everyone reads the article has been asking and think and thinking about which statesman I am. They don't know I'm just a humble man working in a small bookstore. I'm a history teacher, and teaching history is great for me. It's not good for one to forget his roots. That's what I tell my students when I teach them. I'm 54 years old and I live alone. I think my father has a role to play in who I have become. He was a farm worker and was killed during a raid when I was little. Although I can't remember him clearly, there is an incident I can never forget. I remember my father defending his rights by farming. No, by forming a group with his friends together. They fought against injustice and tyranny, and made a great headway in freeing those that had been deprived of their rights. I remember them meeting in our small house, and my father giving a very inspiring speech. I always thought he was some sort of hero. Now sharing an article that has become popular has filled me with great joy. I know my father will be proud of me. I didn't publish the article with my name, but rather with a nickname. Someone can trace it back to me. Even though the article speaks in support of equal rights and fair treatment of others, I'm being careful so what befell my father won't happen to me. It's great that people think I could be a statesman. I'll just be in the shadows for now. Librarian. Let's see this guy, but first of all, I'm gonna have a drink. Let's go. Doctor. Right, let's go then. Life, it can deal you with the worst possible hands. My life was going smoothly till an event happened that set a roller coaster of misfortunes, pardon me, and sorrow for me. I had a happy life, and looking back now, it seems like I took a lot of things for granted. I was happy then, not anymore. I grew up in a loving home. My parents lived me a lot, and I was their only child. I walked in my father's path of career and became a successful medical doctor. I was their pride. Things fell apart when my father was accused of murder and was imprisoned. It felt like a dream. I didn't believe it. My father was trained to save lives, not to harm them. He was accused of some killing political leaders and was found guilty in a court. He was sentenced to prison. My mother couldn't take the heartbreak and shame, and she killed herself. I still remember walking into the living room to see her lying dead on the floor, a bottle of some pills beside her. I had to try to wake her up, and I quickly called the hospital, but it was evident that she was already dead. I dealt with the grief and moved on with my life. I stayed alone and rarely relate with other people outside of the hospital. Now I'm 37 years old, and it has just been revealed that my father is innocent. All those wasted years, the fact that it was his imprisonment that led to my mother's death. Everything feels surreal. I keep asking myself if this isn't a long nightmare. It feels like it is. I'm working on my father's release now, and it's the only thing I'm looking forward to, having him back after so many years. Now we can live together and maybe someday heal together. That was Doctor. Man, fuck. That's wild. Let's see. Nurse. Sometimes I just want to curl up into a ball and cry for hours. I don't. Instead, I go to work and smile. I live alone. And as a 37-year-old woman, it can get pretty lonely. I visit my mum from time to time, and we talk about work and life. She works a nurse, and I happen to find myself in the nursing profession. Also, there has been this friction between us, this strain on our relationship ever since my dad left. Pardon me. He was a soldier, and growing up, I got used to not seeing him for long periods of time. Then he would come, and there would be life and joy in the house. My mum always felt better when he was around. I did too. They summoned my father to to duty some years ago, and it wasn't something new. He got summoned all the time. The only thing different about this time is the fact that my father hasn't returned. No call, no letter, and no single word from him. It's almost like he has disappeared from the face of the world. There is no news of him either. We don't know what has happened to him. He may be dead for all we know. My mum confessed to me one day that she wished they would bring news of his death. She said not knowing was much worse. If he was dead, then we would be able to grieve properly, but now it's almost like we're stuck, like there's no moving forward until we know the truth. I think it's a big part of why I haven't been able to settle down with anyone. I don't know if I can open myself up to someone else, and I always run away at the first hint. If attachment, it's all because deep down I'm scared that they will leave me and I will hurt too much, so I make. Well, that's the nurse. And then, let's say this scientist. Grew up in a poor household. My parents were practically peasants. It was from there that I developed resilience, and that has helped to push me forward in my life. It was either to wallow in self-pity or to rise up and make something out of my life. I chose to do the latter. I believe that agriculture is essential and important to the country's economy. That's why I've invested so much into it. I'm a scientist, but most of me, my ex, most of my experiments have revolved around agriculture because that what was I majored in. Growing up, we didn't have much to eat. Sometimes we would only manage to eat just once a day. Life was terrible. I resented my parents so much for giving birth to me, so much with the so much for giving birth to me, just for me to come to a life of suffering. They tried hard to find work though, but with how crumbled the society was, they couldn't find enough to do to be comfortable with their lives. I lived a hard life but managed to educate myself as soon as I could work out. I out myself out in the field. I started doing odd jobs and started to get more money. I sent myself to school and studied agriculture technology. That was when I got so invested in agriculture. People shouldn't struggle so much just to eat and survive. The purpose of my study was to increase productivity in agriculture. I'm 60 years old now, and I believe that I'm achieving a lot. A delegation examined my work. They took samples from my experiments and took them abroad. I thought it would be a stepping stone for me to further my career and to help my research reach everywhere. After all, after a while, though my work hasn't still been studied, researched, translated, or even banned as harmful, and that was scientist. That was nurse, yeah. Yeah, I read about the librarian. I think there's more to look at. I just don't know where yet. Gives us some time to just take a breather. Musician. 50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town. Right, there's some down here.